Ladies and gentlemen, today is October 21st, 2013, and this is the KNKL Show, episode 109, where we learn to be better artists, except today on Monday, it is Emma. Emma holds our hearts. She holds the chains and the whips. We are slaves to Emma today, and we are working on the comic. And yeah, that's what we're going to be going into. But before we get into that, for those of you who just want to know what we're going to be working on, we're working on this page today with all the awesome badass bikers staring each other down with the guards of the checkpoint. For those of you who don't know exactly what I'm talking about, fear not, because this is an upcoming part of the comic that you haven't seen yet. But we're just going to be coloring that. In other news, today I went onto Day 9's forums, and recently he's been doing this thing called Day 9's Day Off, and he's playing Grand Theft Auto. How cool is that? And I thought, hey, that would be a fun project to just like take an already existing character like William. I think this is an originally a drawing of William, and then I just photoshopped Day 9's face onto it, and the style is fairly easy and all that stuff. And then I posted it onto his site, and then guess what happened? He actually responded. Look at this. Oh! I couldn't believe that actually happened. So please, for those of you who would like to go over and just show some love for Day 9, please go over to the forum, post on this topic if you want to, or just go and check out the art. Either way, it'd be awesome, because if it wasn't for Day 9, I would not be here today doing the show. Alright, that's enough plugging away. That's enough announcements. Let's go ahead and get to work, shall we? Let's get to work. Alright, so I did actually just wake up from a nap, so you'll have to excuse the bit of tiredness that you may be feeling from me. My energy might be a little bit low because I decided to wake up at 6:30 this morning and just get to work, because there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do, and I'm just ready for this comic to come out. I don't know about you guys, but I think it's taking way too long, or it's taking long enough. Not too long, long enough, right? Let's stay positive. It's taking just enough time, and it's time for this sucker to come out. So yeah, I'm going to be working on this week. Almost all the pages are all prepped and just ready to be colored. Coloring doesn't take very long, as you're going to see today. And I'm going to be walking you through, once again, my awesome professional process, right? Because I know exactly what I'm doing at all times, right? And to think otherwise would be foolish. And yeah, speaking of that, let's go ahead and go back on what we just did. But yes, yeah, I'm going to show you guys my process on this today. I'll probably just color these first 4 panels. And yeah, we're shaping up to have this thing released very, very soon. Very, very soon. And I sat down today and I asked myself, I was like, you know, like my main goal, right, is to just get this comic out. You know, it's like I want this comic to come out so badly. And I understand that things just take time, right? Awesome things and things that you're really passionate about are just going to take time, right? But a lot of things have been holding me back. Not just the fact that, you know, I'm just working constantly, slaving away at this, and that it's just not coming out quickly enough. I've been having a lot of issues with, like, you know, insecurities about the comic. You know, I was like, is this good enough? What are people going to think about this? Are they going to respond well to this latest thing? I mean, the comic's called Emma, you know, there's not even that much happening with Emma. It's like we check on Emma and Nico every now and then, but we're like setting up all these other characters. Is that okay? Is this okay? It's supposed to be a zombie comic, but we haven't even seen that many zombies either. You know, it's just, there's all these dumb things that are just going on in my mind, but really, I'm realizing very quickly that it just doesn't matter. It really doesn't. It doesn't matter what somebody else thinks about it. What's important is that it's what I think about it. And what I think about it is obviously what I'm doing right now anyway. So I just kind of need to just shut up and get out of my own way once again. I've told you guys that this is a common problem that I have. I just need to get out of my own freaking way. So that is what I'm going to be doing. And the chat is not going crazy, so I'm going to assume that that means you guys are hearing me, and I love that. I love it when the sound actually works and all that good stuff. Alright, so let me talk to you guys about what exactly I'm doing here. You might notice I was preoccupying you while I was doing this boring gray to white shading back here. And the reason why I was doing that was because I'm actually laying in values for what is going to be the skyline, right? It's going to be very, very simple. And, oh, I just realized we are actually going to have something else in here, too, for the background. Shoot! Good thing I remembered right now. Okay, so what we need to do is we need to move this up here. And there is going to be a bus. There's a bus right there. Ha! I was like, where the heck is the rest of this thing? Okay, so that's good. Let's go ahead and get that bus in there. And let's darken that down so we can actually see, right, this thing that is happening right here. Because there is a bus there, obviously. Okay, so let's go ahead and darken that down. And I think that's the only background that we need. What's the other background? Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Okay, we can scoot the rest of these things back there, behind there. Don't worry so much about the layers. It's not that big of a deal. What's important is the values. So let's get back to that. Back to Ja values. Okay, so I'm just kind of like laying in some quick little shapes of what I want the clouds to be. And I'm also going to go ahead and shade in this area right here, which is going to be the bus. And then this right here is going to be the tarp. It's a tarp! It's going to be the tarp. The tarp, okay? And how do I actually want to do this? Because it's supposed to be glass right here. So maybe I'll lighten that up. I'll lighten this up and this edge up over here. Yeah, I like that. Looks good, yeah. Looks good. Let's put in a little bit of like, just a little bit of detail going through here. Oh, yeah. Like that. You know, just kind of feeling it out, seeing what we like, And I like that. So let's roll with it. Alright, so once we have a basic idea of the values laid down behind, what I go about doing next is I create a OP layer, which is going to sit in front of our frame masks, right? That's going to be what I used to do the overpainting. And then we're going to drop in a gradient map. Awesome gradient map. So let's go ahead and select that. And what I'm doing up here, since you can't see it, I will walk you through it. I will hold your hand. I'm going to simply layer at the top, new adjustment layer, and then gradient map. Click that, hit OK. And now what's really cool is I have all these presets, right, set for my gradient map. And all I do is I simply click this one, and it basically gives me a good beginning to what I'm going to want for my background. And I love it! Love it! Okay, we also need a little bit more lightness in there. A bit more lightness. Ooh. No, too much. I actually want it to be darker. I just realized this. I want it to be darker because I want it to be, because it is getting darker, obviously. And I want to highlight how bright the thing is behind them, right? Because there's going to be a lot of light coming from the right side. So if you make the other background darker, if you make the background darker, like the sky, it'll make it look even more luscious and alive and more bright. So that looks good. I really like that, actually. That looks really good. Let's go ahead and set this background thing. We need to darken that once again. Probably to like that. Yeah, that looks good. Good. Good, yes. Very, very good. And one thing that I think will definitely help us is if we pull in the colors, because eventually what I'm going to be doing is, I've talked to you guys about this, is really the way that I color the comic is quite simple. The way that I do it is, you know, I lay out the colors and the color scheme one time, basically. So this is like the color scheme that I'm enjoying and that I'm liking right now. And then basically what I do after the masks are all in place is I'll just eyedrop and bring the colors over. So I'm going to set that panel, or that page on the other side, and then I'll just, you know, tell you guys as I'm eyedropping. Or if you really want to see it, not that you really need to, I guess I'll show you that too. Alrighty then. So let's continue with what we have here. Let's go ahead and do some OP layers. Let's do some OP layers on the tarp. Okay? So what I'm doing over here is I'm just simply grabbing the color off of the tarp that you saw just a moment ago. I'm going to start painting that in. Right? I'm going to start dropping in these colors, these awesome bright colors. Just get a feel for it, you know. It doesn't have to be perfect. Not too worried about everything being perfect quite yet. You know, we're just trying to get a feel for something and make it look nice. Make it look good, yes. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that. And let's go ahead and have a little bit of that reflecting down onto the bus. Brilliant, no? Brilliant. And then we're going to have some brightness on the bus as well. It is a blue bus. 'Tis a blue bus. And why the heck is it giving me that color? I literally just eyedropped the other color from the other panel, and it says it's this blue, but I guess it really is. Wow, look at that. Look at that. I did not expect that at all. Okay, so I'm just laying in some brightness, some darkness, and brightness. You know, in the windows here, this cracked window thing going on. And you guys can't actually see that, so that's good. Love it when I actually can show you guys what I'm working on. It's always nice. Let's drop in a little shadow back here on this guy. And let's put a little bit of shadow back here. I also imagine the, like a, you know, the bus has like the opening doors on the side, so we'll be able to see a little bit of the sky through, you know, what would be the window on the other side. So let's go ahead and drop that in as well. Just a little hint of it, something like that. See? Easy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Ah! Bah! Okay. So that's looking really good. I like that a lot. I like that a lot. I want to drop in a little bit more of this orange into this tarp. It requires more orange. A little bit more saturation in there as well. Oh, yeah, that's what we like. Ha! Aha! Cool. And now what we can do is, let's go ahead and start coloring the dudes. Color ja dudes. So to do this, we're going to be working with, what is that? That's not going to work. Let's go ahead and go up to our properly named layers so we can easily access. And fix whatever needs to be fixed, like that little thing right there. Alright, now with that out of the way, let's go ahead and begin coloring with our soft brush. Soft, we are becoming tender and soft now. Let me go ahead and go down here. And now I'm going to begin the arduous task of eyedropping. Oh! Why is it not? There we go. The arduous task of eyedropping and coloring these things one by one. So let's go ahead and get to Tank's skin. The proper skin. Where? Oh, okay, there it is. Put that up there with the rest of the skin. Brilliant! And the way that this works is I just lock all the pixels, right, with this little magic button down here. And then when I fill the entire thing, all it does is it just fills the character. Brilliant! No? Let's do the same thing with our skin 2. In fact, what I like to do is I really like to just fill in everything. I like to fill in everything before I start adding the gradients, just to make sure that everything is looking right. It should almost look like the characters are unlit if you do it properly. And I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about as we go forward with this. I don't have the eyes on this one, so we're just going to wing it. I can always go back and change it later, but I usually go for like kind of like a darkened blue. Sort of like that. That should work. Let's go ahead and drop that in on the eyes. Good. Yeah, that actually looks, yeah, that looks good. In fact, it could be just a tad bit lighter. Okay. Skin 2. Skin 2 looks like it's doing good. Skin skin 3. That's Clem. That's Clem's skin and our friend back here as well. Let's see. I'll just do it like this. So lock that. I'll color Clem's skin like that. I'll color our other friend back here. Just darken his skin a little bit. Let's kind of push it a little bit more red. A little bit more ambient. Yeah, that's good. Okay, next. Let's do Jasut. Jasut. Cool. I always like it when I like drop the suit color on there because it's like this really dark purple. It just looks really, I don't know, it just makes it look really awesome. Love it. Red suits. Red suits. Get to this color. Actually, that's too dark. Let's lighten it up just a tad. Let's go like that. Oh! Isn't that interesting? They're almost identical. Almost identical. Now let's go ahead and color these guys as well. Darken those. Alright, now we're starting to get somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. The guns. The guns. Let's just go ahead and color those dark red. Yeah, that looks great. Looks like we missed a little bit on Clem's eyebrow there too. I'm gonna have to go back and fix that. But not to worry, not to worry. Looks good. All right, let's do the accent. All right, let's go ahead and Clem's blonde hair. And let's fix his eyebrow up there. Good. And let's finish off with the suit. His suit. Let's color that a little bit in there. And the last thing we need to do is the hair. Hair brown. Cool. Alrighty, people. I think we're ready to start shading. Let's shade them. Alright, prepare yourselves. Prepare yourselves, because this is the part where everything comes together. And it looks awesome. Love it. My favorite part. Okay, so we're going to start with the skin. Let's go ahead and head back up to skin. Clem's skin. And again, we're taking our soft brush here. Soft brushes all the way. And there you go. That's how you do it. That's it. That's literally it. Super hard, I know. Super hard. Who else needs this? Okay, this guy also needs it. So let's get a little bit back, a little bit there. No, it looks good. Does he even need it? I don't even know if he needs it. I like a little bit on him. Yeah, just a tad bit. Okay, so that looks good. And let's go ahead and also drop the same thing over here. Add some intensity to the shot. Intensity to the shot. Okay, and yeah, we're also going to have some intensity on this shot as well. go ahead and also color Clem's face. Let's lighten that up as well because he's getting some firelight. In fact, he's probably getting much more than Tank is. So let's go ahead and kick it up. No, not like that. Too much. Too much. It is a delicate process. When I'm not eye-dropping, when I'm not cheating, it's hard. Kind of like it better like that. And then another thing that I really like to do is just add the tiniest little bit of pigment to the cheeks. Right? Just a little bit. Makes your characters look a little bit more alive, relatable. You know, all that good stuff. A little bit of pigment. There we go. The girls I usually do a little bit more. But for the guys, yeah, barely anything. Barely anything. The other thing that I need to do on this skin is, let's see, because there's going to be some heavy light coming from the other side, but I don't think it's going to be completely shadowing him, and I don't think it's going to be hitting any of Tank's skin either. So I think we're good. We're good on that. All right. Let's move on to the shadows. Shadows, for the most part, I'm probably just going to keep them as they are. Maybe just add in a tad bit of gradation. Yeah, stuff like that. I like that. Because it actually looks nice. I like the way that the shadows look. Just the way that they are. Yeah, those look good. Let's do the suit. This is the fun part, because now I get to show the secondary light source coming from behind Tank here. This will add some real drama. Now let's go ahead and drop that cast shadow on there as well. Love cast shadows. Cast shadows are awesome. Didn't really need that one. There we go, that does the job. In fact, I think I might kick it up just a little bit more. Yeah, that looks great. Don't need any cast shadows there. And we don't need to worry about that. Alright, now let's do the other side of the suit. Part that's absorbing the light from the front. So this will just get a little bit brighter and lean more towards red. We're dealing with like a fiery light. Yeah. In fact, it could probably be even more subtle. More like that. That's cool. Alright. So next, let's go on to the guns. Alright. How long have we been going? Oh! We've been going for about 30 minutes. Alrighty, peoples. I'm going to be taking questions soon, so get your questions ready. Get your questions ready. Question catapults coming up. But first, we need to color this guy and his red hood. Saving that for last. Where's red suit? Red suit. There we go. Red suit, here we come. Booyah! We need a little bit more of a transition happening here. Yeah. Love that. Looks great. Awesome. Let's get that cool cast shadow in there as well. Cast shadows are our friend. Love it. And then let's go ahead and finish it off with a little bit of the ambient light that's happening over here. And actually, that looks like crap. Screw that. I kind of want this to be a little bit more saturated. Yeah, more like that. Love it. It's looking really good. Okay, let's do red suits too. These guys, I imagine they're wearing, I don't know, some a little, just slightly less saturated. I kind of wanted to make their clothes be like more red, you know, so they kind of like a red tint to them, and then have the bikers have slightly more blue, right? So just looks a little bit more cool, heightens the contrast and the tension. And that's good. Really like that. This guy's hand is going to be hitting some of that skin, so let's take care of that. Now let's take care of that. We get a little bit of that light as well. Get a little bit of pigment on there. Not Pikmin. That is something completely different. Alright. That's looking great. Where's our brown hair? There we go. You take care of that biz. Let's go ahead and lay it down on him first. Yes! Oh, that's awesome. Love it. Oh, I wish I would have saved it. Like, I wish I would have shown you guys, like, I was like switching between the two things. Actually, wait, we can. I can show you guys the difference between just no masks and all masks. So let's go ahead and bring all of these together. So yeah, this is basically what we started with. You know, nothing. You know, you just have the lines here. And I hope this just shows you guys like the power and the immersion and the feelings that you can convey with proper values and colors, right? It really makes a big difference, and it really helps your image to read properly and just instantly get a feel for what you're going for. And immerse your audience. Alrighty, people. With that, we're going to go ahead and take some question catapults. Take a couple questions, and then we're going to end episode 109, and then I'm probably going to start winding down, get ready for bed, because I want to wake up again early tomorrow. That felt good. Felt pretty nice. I like that. Alrighty. Let us see here. A couple questions coming in. Simon's asking, Keenan, how do you feel about drawing animals? Animals, it depends. I don't draw furries, but I do enjoy drawing little puppies, bunnies, cute animals. No, I actually haven't drawn that many animals, but I think they're really fun to draw, especially giraffes. Giraffes is probably my favorite thing to draw. That's an animal, especially blue ones. I I don't have much. I don't have a lot of experience doing that type of stuff. Although I have heard of a lot of artists that like go to the zoo and stuff, and they like to draw animals there, and that's like a really fun experience. But I don't see that as something like that I really enjoy or like that's my main thing, you know. But that's just me. Alrighty. Question coming in from Premonition. Oh, again, asking about critiques. A lot of people ask me for critiques. I do not give critiques because I don't like to give them, and I don't think that I'm really qualified enough to give them. I don't think of myself as necessarily like an art teacher per se. More of as, you know, like I'll show you some techniques that help me out. Maybe you guys can try them out yourselves. But I don't really like telling people what to do, especially when, you know, it's like, oh, well, you should do what I would do, you know? It's like, that doesn't really compute for me. So I believe people should be unique and pursue their own thing, and they should just figure it out themselves, because that's what I did, right? And if that's what I did, then you should be able to do that too. So no critiques from me, and that's going on the frequently asked questions, because I get that one all the time. All right. Oh, Wolfhat is asking a great question. He says, have I ever drawn a caricature of myself? I have never drawn a caricature of myself. In fact, I'm probably going to be giving tomorrow's tutorial on caricatures because I actually suck at doing caricatures and like capturing likenesses of people. Like, I'm not very good at that. So tomorrow's going to be sort of like a joint study session talking about how to just allow yourself to do something that you're not super confident or proficient in. And I'm going to show you guys, and hopefully you guys can learn something from me not being very good at caricatures. All right. Last question coming in from Toramel, asking what art colleges would you recommend for someone who wants to draw for video game companies? Oh, another good question. Another good question. But I'm probably the wrong person to ask because I didn't go to college. I just taught myself, and I did fan art, right? So if you want to talk about what college you should go to the College of Fan Art, Passion, and just doing the work before you're paid for it, right? Do the work. You know, the reason why I got noticed by Riot, the reason why I worked for them was because I was passionate about them. I loved their product, and I loved their characters, and I was doing fan art and just drawing pictures and basically doing splash art before I was even hired by them. And then, you know, they contacted me when the time was right. And I submitted my application and all that stuff. But I really think that, you know, these days, I really think, especially as an artist, it's like, it's not so much about what college you go to or what degree you get or what certificate you get that says, yes, I'm good at art, you should hire me. It's more about really what can you do and what have you been doing with your time. Are you just sitting at home playing World of Warcraft all day or sitting around twiddling your thumbs playing Black Ops 2 all day? You know, where is your time going? Because if it's not showing in your art, it doesn't matter what college you go to. Nobody's going to take you serious, and no one's going to hire you, okay? So, you know, feeling really negative. I feel like those might be a little harsh, but those are the facts. Those are the harsh facts. And I do love you guys. And so I really believe in being truthful with you. Just letting you know what I think. Alrighty, people. Thank you for those awesome questions. I hope you don't mind me being blunt with you. Blunt and loving with you. But we're going to go ahead and end today's show, episode 109. Thank you for joining me live on Twitch as usual. People on YouTube, thumbs up if you like it, thumbs down if you don't. My name is Keenan Lafferty. I will see you guys tomorrow for Tutorial Tuesday. I need to get the epic outro music out. I'll see you guys tomorrow for Tutorial Tuesday. Until then, you guys take care. See you.